While the word exponential may not be a hot SAT vocab word, it certainly has its place on the math side of things. I bet you already know what I'm going to tell you about exponents. Yep, there's a picking numbers strategy for that. Picking numbers works for problems drenched in exponents and makes solving them surprisingly gratifying. But before we dive in, let's define the word exponent. An exponent is a quantity representing the power to which a given number is to be raised. You can identify which of the exponent problems will benefit from the picking numbers strategy by reading the answer choices. Let's take a look at a specific example. Which of the following is equivalent to a times b to the third minus a times b to the fourth plus a squared times b squared? This may look rough, but remember that applying the right strategy will simplify the problem. Did you notice that we have variables in the answer choices? As you know, this means that it's a picking numbers problem. You might be tempted to use the rules of factoring to solve this one. If you're really good at algebra, that just might work. But picking numbers doesn't require you to be really good at algebra, and picking numbers makes it difficult to make a mistake. So, let's pick numbers for a and b. Since we want to avoid 0 and 1, let's make a equal 4 and b equal 3. When we plug these numbers for the variables into the equations, we get 4 times 3 cubed minus 4 times 3 to the fourth plus 4 squared times 3 squared. Now on the calculator section, it's easy from here. Just plug this into your calculator exactly as shown. But let's take a look at what to do on the no calculator section. We could just do this problem step by step with the 3 to the fourth and everything, but there's an easier way if we just play with our numbers a bit. First, do you see how there's a 4 in each section of this equation? We can factor them out. So we'll get 4 times 3 cubed minus 3 to the fourth plus 3 squared times 4. Remember to be careful with the 4 squared on the end. We're just taking one of those 4s, not both. Next, do you see all of those 3's? We can factor some of them out too. And since all of those 3's have an exponent that is greater than or equal to 2, we can actually factor out a 3 squared. Now our numbers are smaller and easier to work with. So let's do some arithmetic. 3 squared is 9. So we have 4 times 9 times 3 minus 9 plus 4. Let's simplify that a bit. So we have 4 times 9 times negative 2, which is 36 times negative 2, which is negative 72. Write that down and circle it. Now, we want to check each answer choice. You may notice that all of the answer choices look pretty similar, but remember, in picking numbers, you have to check every answer choice just in case. We've done a lot of math, and now we just want to check out the answer choices. Let's use answer choice A. A times b times the quantity b squared minus b cubed plus a times b. We can plug our values into our calculator. But since this problem could appear on the no calculator section, let's do it by hand too. So we get 4 times 3 times 9 minus 27 plus 12, which we can simplify to 4 times 3 times negative 6. A little more multiplication, and we get 12 times negative 6, which is negative 72. Exactly the number we're looking for. And the calculator agrees. But let's take a look at the other answer choices. Next is choice B. On the calculator section, enter 4 times 3 multiplied by 4 times 3 squared minus 4 times 3 cubed plus 4 times 3. On the no calculator section, we'll do it by hand. First, let's factor out a 4. Then we'll deal with the exponents to get 4 times 3 times 4 times 9 minus 27 plus 3, which simplifies to 4 times 3 times 4 times negative 15. 4 times 3 is 12, and 4 times negative 15 is negative 60. And 12 times negative 60 is not equal to negative 72, so cross off B. Let's keep going. Answer choice C becomes 4 times 3 multiplied by 3 squared minus 3 cubed plus 1. Doing it without a calculator, we get 4 times 3 times 9 minus 27 plus 1, or 4 times 3 times negative 17. 3 times negative 17 is negative 51, and 4 times negative 51 definitely isn't negative 72. So let's cross off C and move on to D. Answer choice D becomes 4 times 3 multiplied by 3 cubed minus 3 to the fourth plus 1, which becomes 4 times 3 times 27 minus 81 plus 1. Well, let's simplify that just a bit to 12 times 27 minus 80. Let's do the subtraction to get negative 53. 12 times negative 53 is clearly not negative 72, so cross off D as well. Answer choice A is the only one that gives us negative 72. Without a doubt, that's our answer. That was a long one, especially without a calculator, but it wasn't too bad, right? Though these problems can look intimidating, you've now seen how they can be simplified by using the right strategy. The more you practice, the more easily you'll identify problems that you can apply the picking number strategy to, which will increase your speed and accuracy.